The introduction. I'm a member of the board here. So today, the subject I'm talking about, know your grantee, in particular, the legal description part of grantee. Okay, I have a disclaimer to make because today the subject I'm talking about having as a legal, issue in it, so I need to make this disclaimer. Each year, there's hundreds, thousands of property transfer hand without a hitch. However, there's sometimes still problems from time to time. I've heard the agent within this board told me she's gonna sue someone because the title company made a mistake on the legal description. However, actually it's your deal, your project, you sell the land, you're responsible too. So if you know the subject, you can catch the mistake. It not only help the title company, actually it's help yourself. So what is a legal description anyway? Language, words describe a piece of property. It's called a legal description. Actually, it's a land description because it has to stand up in the court. That's why it's called a legal description. The original purpose of legal description is for the transfer of property. But what do we use before we have legal description? It's basically word of mouth. Okay, for example, like in Hawaii in the late 1800s, there was a sailor, British sailor, John Parker. He jumped the ship. And to make long story short, subsequently he married the daughter of the tribe leader. On the wedding day, the tribe leader gave the land to him as a dowry, and it said you can own the land as far as you can see. So if you visit Hawaii on the Big Island, the Parker Ranch, the largest cattle ranch in the United States, still there today. So after Columbus discovered America, there's three waves, big wave of people coming to this country. The first group people are those the government trying to prosecute them, because of political reasons. The second wave, people seeking religious freedom, they come to this country. The third way people come to this country is people who want to make money. They come over here, they know they can buy slaves and they get free labor. So when most people come over here, the European are different from the Indian. The Indian feel the land just like water or air, you can breathe for free, drink for free. But the European, they're different. When they own the land, they want in writing. So they use this mise en bond description. They use like a tree, oak tree or any tree as a original point, start measuring, and they use river, road, wall as boundary of the property. But then, after 10, 20 years, the tree can die, chopped down for firewood, and the stream can meander, and sometimes they realign the road, tear down the wall. There's no evidence left. Where's the property line? So since this country was built under the law, use law and order, so everything ended up in the court. So the government is swamped with this case of, boundary dispute case. So they have to come up with some kind of solution. So in 1785, our third president, Thomas Jefferson, he proposed the rectangular system, land system, currently called the Public Land Survey System. Why it is called a rectangular system? Because everything comes in squares. As you can see on this picture, the big square is the township, which is 6 miles square. And the little square is a section, which is 640 acres. So the blue area, not the blue, I mean, it is the blue state, but not the blue state we're talking about today. The blue state, are using this public land survey system or rectangular system. Texas wasn't part of the United States, in 1785. And the white area, the 13 colonial states, so to speak, they use meets and bound legal description. Actually, they're still using today. And Hawaii, they joined the public land survey system very late, but they do use the PLSS system. But this is United States is a big country, so we need to have, meridians. There's 37 meridians in this country. In California, there's 3. One in the northern part of Humboldt County, one in the central part of California is the Mount Diablo. The one we use in Southern California called, I'm sure you heard about it, called the San Bernardino Basin Meridian, but a lot of people, they just use short SBM. Okay, the section description, this is a section, and the quarter is a quarter section. For example, the green area, how you call description, you just call the north half of the south quarter of the section number, then the township number. So this system applies all over the blue state. The description, you just change the section number and the township number, then it's done. So it's very good. So this is the meridian, how it laid out. So you have township 1, each square. So there are 37 principal meridians in this country. So this is the index for the San Bernardino base meridian. You can see there's a lot of townships. Okay, the government, they have the section and the township. That was the government the world largest subdivision. After that, the government never done any more subdivision. All the private land is subdivided by private entrepreneur or developer. So they use tract parcel map, okay? But from time to time you see another kind, which most people doesn't know, but because you don't recognize it, called a D-cut. It's a minor, split way of using to split a lot. So after a couple of subdivisions, then you kind of just like a family. You have a father, son, grandson. The land system, the same thing. The first time subdivision done by federal government, the subsequent subdivision done by all the private citizens. So it all depends how many times has been subdivided. So you go to Antelope Valley or Apple Valley, a lot of area, they still remains in, when you buy a piece of land, still described as a sections, okay? But in San Gabriel Valley here, there are more population, so the land is more valuable, so they subdivide more times to cut up in small, lots. So now I reverse, this is the D-cut. Well, actually this is a county assessor's map. You're probably familiar with. So all the dashed line showing as a result of the deed cut or lot line adjustment. And you will never find any other place find this kind of map. Only county assessor has keep this record. However, this kind of drawing I call the quasi-public record, meaning they can change anytime they want. So if someone coming in to subdivide to parcel land, and the county assessor will change it, unless in old days they have microfiche or those record. Then if your real estate company own a copy, those are valuable. And you can see the current one. The county assessor is updating this all the time. It is available on the county assessor's webpage. So I'm going reverse order. This is I believe this is the subdivision before the third time subdivision. Okay, this is actually close to Del Mar and the Mission, Del Mar and the Emerson, some place down there. So this is the lot, about 10-acre lot, which was subdivided, into previous subdivision. And all this, in old days, when you subdivide the land, today you see subdivision, there's a map number. In old days, if you own the lot, okay, they just use your name as the subdivision map name. In this case, Mission Corp, a company, owned the land, so they just use the company's name. So all the land I described, it is subdivided, this is the grandfather from this two section, or portion of this two section. And the public land survey system is the government. Then after that, there's another kind of land called the rancho land. The rancho land is a land granted to the people living here, probably most likely are generals or soldiers. They granted by Spanish or Mexican government. So when, California become part of the United States in 1850, the government says, okay, you can. They recognize it because all those folks, they have guns, And another way they got the land is just before 1900s, it's called homestead. The government said if you live on the land for 5 years, because they encourage people go west, okay? So if you live on the land for 5 years, and then you till the land, take care of the land, at the end of 5 years, they give you a certificate, you own it. So when I was going to college, a lot of my roommates told me that the family owned 160 acres, which is quarter section. Now I look back, I suspect that they probably got through the homestead program. Okay, the legal description, we've been talking about it. You know the family tree, then it's easier to talk about legal description because, like I was mentioning, if the land hasn't subdivided in Palmdale, it's still in section form. So when you write a legal description, you just refer to the section. Okay. So the long format, which there are two paragraphs. Okay. There's a caption. There's a body. Sometimes there's a third paragraph. The caption describes the general area. Okay, then the body zero in describing details. The short format, everything, the body, caption lumped together in one paragraph. Okay, the short format will describe the property right away at the first sentence. Okay, then it follows by the caption. So the short format does have caption. Occasionally, some legal descriptions use both. So this is a long format. There's one paragraph, which is the first paragraph is the caption, the second is the body. And the most long format probably used on like a pipeline or transmission line or ingress egress easement, those kind of sewer easement, because they kind of you cannot describe in a simple way. So use the long format. But for most like in our industry, the real estate industry, it's very easy. You use a referential. You just refer to the a tract or parcel map or a section. So you call out the lot in the tract or township, whatever, and you're done. So for example, this is part of a tract map, okay? So you just basically, you call out, you refer to the tract, you call out the lot number. In this case, there's a block number. Well, this is in Los Angeles. So Los Angeles, this is probably early 1900s. It was growing like a crazy. So the developer, they probably built a house block by block. So they did one subdivision, then there's a block, they built this block, the block 87. Okay, this is probably in South Central Los Angeles. So the legal description, you just refer to this tract, like lot number 9, block 87, Townside Howard tract. It's called the name tract. I mentioned that the early days, they refer, there's no tract number. You own the land, they use your name as the name of the tract. Then the recording information. Okay, this is a county assessors map. The yellow portion. This slide just use a D cut to split the lot. The D cut meaning not file a parcel map or tract map. They simply use legal description. Just say the east half of lot 37. Okay, then then you call out the tract number and the city, state, then recording book and the page number, and you're done. So there are miscellaneous thing I like to address, like who prepared the legal description. Most legal description prepared by civil engineer or surveyor, but the title company, they do it too. Because title company, when there's a sale, they just refer to the lot. So it's a referential type of legal description. And most of the time, they are in short format. And the street name, generally, when you do a subdivision, the street name is named by the engineer, civil engineer, or whoever, or surveyor. Sometimes the landowner, they like to name, a couple of streets in their own name too, The house number is assigned by the city. When you build a house, then you take a house number. Then county assessors map is, has all this information. It's a really good friend to realtor because we have real tax, we can have access, or you can directly, get to the county assessor's website to get those information. And a lot of times people buy a lot, say 50 by 150. The actual size is not 50 by 150, because you can stretch and shorten because the earth moves. Yes. So don't be surprised when you see the survey report, the dimension of the lot. And then when you build, a lot of people ask me about the building block wall. Where should I build my block wall? Basically, when you build on your own property, you have total control of the wall. But you want your neighbor to split the cost of the block wall, If he or she agree, then you can build in the middle. Then you don't have total control of the, the wall. So to recap, I think for a realtor, the most important is the pattern of format recognition. When you see, I know most realtors make a commission, they don't care about, grand deed, what says in the grand deed, because the title company takes care of, or escrow officer. However, if a realtor understand grand deed, if there's a mistake, then you can help catch the mistake. And after all, it's your deal. And if there's a litigation, it will come to you. So this is my presentation. If you have any question, do we have time?